What's up, guys? It's a moment for me to have the meatless, and I am a 10-year vegan, 3-year raw vegan. I'm 39 years young. We got to stop saying years old. And I'm an ASM certified personal trainer. And yeah, I think I should probably start some of these by introing myself a little bit so you guys get a little bit of background about me. And by the way, if there's more that you guys want to know about me, leave it in the comments below and I'll answer. But yeah, so today, as you guys can see from the title, I just want to let you guys know you don't have to be perfect to be a raw vegan. Like, you don't have to eat only raw food all the time or you're not a raw vegan. I know there's a lot of people out there that, they're like making these crazy standards where you're like, oh, you either do this or you're not, and I just want to let you guys know, so I'm raw vegan for the past 3 years, mostly, but I say that because there's been times here and there where I had cashews. Cashews aren't raw. There's been times where I've had cooked meals, right? Like cooked dinners. When I've wanted to have them, I've had them. If I go out to eat with my children, and I want to have cooked food, then I'm going to eat cooked food, and I'm not going to feel bad about it, and I'm not going to blow it out of proportion and say, oh my God, I feel like I have a hangover after I ate that cooked. Like, no, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. So yes, I feel best eating raw food, and I believe that raw food it's obvious when you look in nature that raw food is the way that everything eats. Everything else eats raw food except for humans. And, humans have been cooking their food not even for that long. So for me, it's obvious that that's what we're supposed to do, and that's how we'll live the longest, and that's how we'll live the highest quality of life, providing that other acts of God don't happen. But with that being said, we don't have to be perfect with it. Like, if you're already eating, come down with it. If you're already eating a diet that is healthier than what everybody else is eating, then why is it a big deal when you have one thing that's like a healthy cooked food or something? Like, it's not. So if you guys are raw and you've been struggling to I was raw for a day, come down with it. If I was raw for a day and then I caved at dinner and I ate a cooked dinner or whatever, don't worry about that, guys. That's all part of it. That's all part of the journey. And the journey is not to try to be raw vegan. The journey is not to try to fit some ideal or some archetype that you have been told is the best. The idea is to go with what naturally suits you and what makes you feel the best. So if you're high raw and you're eating mostly raw and then you're having a cooked meal every couple days or every night or whatever, and you feel great doing that, then that's fantastic. Come down. Then that's fantastic. If you are somebody who's totally raw and then every now and then you have a cooked meal, that's fine. If you're somebody who's raw but you eat cashews, you eat almonds, which are usually blanched or steamed or whatever, if you're somebody that occasionally you eat peanut butter, whatever it is, like, you're still raw. It's not like, oh no, you're either 100% raw or you're not raw. If you eat mostly raw foods and that is your intention is to eat mostly raw foods, then you're raw. You're raw. It's not about, well, you're 90% raw. That's not raw, all of this is ridiculous. This is just people blowing things out of proportion and making drama and problems where there is no drama and there are no problems. So the point is to eat healthy and to feel your best, not to try to be this person or try to be that person or try to do what this person thinks is best. Those are just opinions, and you can't live to serve other people's opinions. So, with that being said, the reason why I choose to eat raw or predominantly raw is because I feel the best, and honestly I look the best. You know what I mean? This is about vanity too. So I just I feel better. I feel a little better. I look a little better. So for me, it's a win-win. And I'm interested to see how does the body Um, how is the body affected over time as you pass these barriers of age where people think you're supposed to start breaking down and you don't start breaking down? Like, I'm already about to be 40, and so people think I'm supposed to be breaking down already. Like, there's a lot of people like 30, 35, and they're like, oh, I'm getting old. And I'm like, that is a terrible mentality. That mindset is crazy. And if you have that mindset, you have to remember that your cells are listening. Your body is listening to what you're saying. So if you want to age gracefully and slowly, and you want to be youthful your entire life, I'm talking about you want to look beautiful and radiant and sexy, and you want to have all the energy and all the vitality of youth through the ages when people think you're not supposed to have that. The first thing is your mindset. You have to have the right mindset. So you have to stop thinking that 30 is old, 40 is old, 50 is old, 60 is old. You have to stop thinking that. You have to be willing to be a little bit of a pioneer in the way that you think, and not buy into these societal belief systems that you've been taught since you were little, and say, you know what, aging is breakdown of the body, and if I'm not breaking my body down like everybody else is, I'm not going to age like everybody else is. And I mean, it's just simple, easy to understand stuff. So, one of those main components is having your food raw, which has the enzymes in it, so your body doesn't have to use its enzymes to break that food down. Another one would be like soaking and sprouting things, making sure to do that, because then it's easier on your body, right? So these things are, if you don't do these things here and there, it's not a big deal. But if you're not doing these things on a daily basis, then it starts to lead to wear and tear on the body. Over time, that starts to lead to breakdown, and you're going to age faster. So if you want to, age as gracefully as possible, that's why I go the raw. And it's not just that, I got to be honest, it's also mental. There's like a mental clarity that comes with being raw and eating like light living foods and always being hydrated from fresh fruits and vegetables. The mindset, let me make sure that I mention that the mindset is a whole nother level. Your creativity, everything is a whole nother level. So it benefits you across the board. So you want to do it, but you don't. If you feel like you're forcing yourself, then you're going. It's like pulling teeth, right? It shouldn't be like pulling teeth. It should be a natural progression of, maybe you replace this with that, and you just feel a little better. And then you replace this with that, and then you feel a little better. And over time, eventually, your diet is clean, and then eventually your diet is majority raw, and then eventually it's completely raw. Some people can do it faster, but you have to go with like what you feel inside and what's true to you. So with that being said, guys, just remember, you don't have to be perfect to be a raw vegan. Like, probably nobody these days is 100% vegan, because there's certain things, if you look deeply enough into everything, you find out like, damn, I thought I was vegan, and okay, I'm not, according to this. But you have to understand that veganism is not about perfection, right? And it's definitely not about bashing other people and trying to get them to meet this impossible standard that you might set for yourself that you don't even reach because it's not possible. And that's not what it's about, right? Veganism is about compassion. And in that compassion for animals, you can't forget the compassion for your fellow humans. And if you do that, you're not a vegan, you're just an asshole. So with that being said, guys, if you want to work with me, you're trying to get right, you want to look great, feel great, and eat healthy, have a sound nutritional plan and a solid workout routine where you progress every week, and you have coaching calls with me once a week, I'll have my email down in the description below. You can email me and we'll set up a call if that's something that interests you. And I also just sell programs for you to do it, at your own discretion as well. So also let me know what you guys want to see on the next one. And that's it. I'm out. Peace.